When did America start basically just sort of representing what Moscow thinks?
I didn't say any of those things, and I don't like when someone tries to give words and interpret without understanding. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm off. I don't like you.
Okay. Well, that's fine, Dr. Halper-Hayes. Maybe some of the listeners won't like you, but that's fine. I'm entirely indifferent to that.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a clip that is going viral right now of former global vice president of Republicans overseas and advisor to Donald Trump's 2017 transition team, Dr. Jan Halper-Hayes, who rage quit an interview with British journalist Lewis Goodall on his show after he questioned her and used Republicans' biggest fear, the truth, against her. But as we'll see, that was just the first hang-up in this segment, as Lewis then immediately after this speaks to a caller who brands President Zelensky as a lowlife, and they debate his choice of outfit when talking to Trump, which is just ridiculous. And then the caller hangs up as well. It's spectacular. Take a look at how this interview starts, and then we'll get to the hang-up.
I've got to turn now to, as promised, to Dr. Jan Halper-Hayes, former global vice president of Republicans overseas, as an advisor to Donald Trump's 2017 transition team. Dr. Halper-Hayes, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Do you understand why so many in this country and in Europe more generally would have seen what happened in the Oval Office as an attempt to humiliate President Zelensky and be repulsed by it?
Well, if they watched all 53 minutes, then I don't think they would have that feeling. If they saw clips of it, which of course will be clips of J.D. Vance and Trump being very angry with Zelensky, then of course they would come to that.
Could you imagine President Trump speaking to, say, President Putin in that way? And isn't it precisely the point that he wouldn't, that is part of the problem?
I just love how straight he is with these questions despite this woman's non-answer. And this guy, frankly, deserves an award because he just does not give up.
Well, if President Putin pushed him the way Zelensky pushed Trump,
what did
bet.
Zelensky do? What did he do that was so egregious in your view?
Well, one is that he started litigating the 2014. He said, I don't want a ceasefire.
He said he wants peace repeatedly. He just doesn't want it on Russia's terms, which you'll understand because Russia invaded his country.
But he said, I don't want a ceasefire. He made that comment to Trump.
He said he doesn't want a ceasefire if he knows that Putin is just going to renege on it a couple of months later, which is fair enough, isn't it? Because he's done that repeatedly, you will accept.
The silence and stammering is deafening. Just listen to her stammer and contort her way out of this as a complete Putin puppet, despite being a former advisor to Trump's ball-licking community.
Exactly.
No, not exactly. I mean, the point is that, of course, anyone wants a ceasefire, but there's no point having a ceasefire, is there? Which is what Zelensky was saying to Trump, if Putin is just going to renege on it shortly afterwards.
And Trump was saying, how do you really know? I mean, if you're really coming from that position, that no one can guarantee anything. But if you don't move forward to get something into an agreement and then be able to put the right security.
But what has Putin said that gives you or President Trump any indication at all that he even wants a ceasefire? Putin has said he doesn't want a ceasefire at this point.
And here is where things start to really get off the rails. And just pay attention to how professionally Lewis plays this, only to get hung up on as this woman rage quits, because as always, the facts are not on her side.
Putin is, look, I'm not here to have an argument because you clearly have a position that I don't agree with.
What would that be? What would that position be?
Well,
I mean, we would both agree, wouldn't we, for a start, that Putin started the war?
Yeah, what I would say is that Putin legally violated international law. Morally, he thought he was right, and strategically...
But you would agree that morally he was wrong?
No, I would not agree morally is wrong. I would agree legally he was wrong.
I'm sorry, what? invading another sovereign nation is not morally wrong. But then again, I guess what can you expect when the president invades women's pussies at will?
You would agree, you would not think that a man who literally, as we speak, still sends drone attacks to kill Ukrainian civilians is morally wrong?
Oh, and you think that Ukraine isn't doing anything to the Russians?
Ukraine didn't invade Russia. Russia invaded Ukraine. That you wouldn't agree that was morally wrong?
Okay, all right. You know what? That is 3 years ago.
Right. So if we were sat in 1942, would you have been on the radio going, "Look, don't worry about it. Hitler invaded Poland 3 years ago"?
You know what? I didn't sign on for this hypothetical discussion.
It's not hypothetical. I'm just trying to tease out the logic of what you're saying, Dr. Halper-Hayes.
One is that James Baker and Thatcher and Mitterrand and Kohl, etc., had promised that NATO would not move 1 inch eastward, and that was violated.
Those
so
countries.
You want to look at all the different people that violated their agreement?
When did America start basically just sort of representing what Moscow thinks? Those countries wanted to be part of the NATO club. Your club. Are you saying that they should never have been allowed to exercise their democratic and sovereign rights as nations and join that club?
Oh, God. You know what? I don't like having my words twisted. No, I really don't.
You don't like... Well, but that's the point of an interview, isn't it? Is to discuss what you're saying. And I'm just asking you... You're saying... With respect, Doctor, I'm just trying to understand what you're saying. You're saying that those countries should never have been allowed to join NATO, and then we wouldn't have been in this situation. And I'm saying to you that surely those countries should have been allowed...
No, I didn't say that. Well, see, that's why... No, hold on a minute.
But you cited what happened in the... so you're saying that it's fine for them to join NATO then?
I didn't say any of those things, and I don't like when someone tries to give words and interpret without understanding. I'm done. Okay. I'm off. I don't like you.
Okay. Well, that's fine, Dr. Halper-Hayes. Maybe some of the listeners won't like you, but that's fine. I'm entirely indifferent to that. I'm very grateful for your time. Dr. Jan Halper-Hayes there, former Global Vice President of Republicans overseas. Apparently I'm not going to be on her Christmas card list. Maybe I will be with Oliver in Harlesden, though. Oliver.
What a disrespectful, low-life leader is Mr. Zelensky. Oh, my God, this guy.
A low-life? What? He's been bravely leading his country for 3 years, Oliver.
Okay, listen. I'm going to be very quick here. I'm not going to be as technical as you or the other listener. Listen, you go into America, you're not even bothered to wear suits. You just go with that.
Come on.
Yes,
so you're saying that when Winston Churchill visited the White House in the 1940s, he should have worn a suit?
Okay, listen.
Does that matter?
Okay, listen. He's going to see the most powerful leader on the planet.
Yeah.
Come on, have some respect. And the way he went on in the video, he was so disrespectful.
What about Elon Musk? Elon Musk don't wear a suit in the White House. Doesn't seem to matter to Donald Trump.
The most powerful leader of the planet, and he went off about small details.
Is the President of the United States so petty that he would genuinely have a massive row with someone? If he was really committed, if he thought that Ukraine had justice on its side, are we really saying that the President of the United States and the Vice President are so petty that they'll let it all just get out of hand just because of what the President of Ukraine is wearing?
Can I finish my statement, please?
Well, no, I'm just asking you a question.
Yeah, but no, you're not asking me because you just talk over me, sir.
No,
I'm finishing.
Yeah.
Very
You're saying something ridiculous, so,
Oh, my. Yeah, okay. You're a bully. Oh, my goodness, you're unprofessional.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
And if that ain't a face that we as Americans can relate to, I don't know what is. Because apparently people parroting Trump and Putin's talking points only seem to care about decorum and being morally right and not being a bully and a nation's sovereignty when it suits their petty, contorted narratives. Kudos to Lewis Goodall for scorching these people. And for more content like that, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I'll see you guys in the next one.